The Galactic Council Hall was silent, but not calm. Hundreds of worlds were connected through light screens. Powerful alien leaders watched the same image floating in the center of the hall. It was a ship. Small, simple, and unimpressive. "This is Earth's prototype," one council member said with clear boredom. A low wave of laughter spread across the chamber. Humans. The youngest spacefaring race in the galaxy. Late to every war, late to every alliance, and always behind in technology. For decades, the galaxy had seen them as weak. Too emotional. Too fragile. Too unpredictable. Their worlds were loud, their politics messy, and their ships basic. Compared to the shining fleets of ancient empires, human designs looked crude. "So this is what they are proud of," another alien mocked. A prototype made of steel and hope. More laughter followed. The council had gathered today not out of fear, but routine. Earth had requested observer status again. And once again, the galaxy did not take them seriously. But then, something changed. A sharp alert cut through the hall. Red symbols flashed across the screens. Several alien commanders leaned forward. "Unknown signal detected," an AI voice announced. "Source confirmed, human origin." That alone caused surprise. Humans rarely acted without warning. They rarely acted at all. Before anyone could speak, the AI continued. "Human vessel has entered restricted coordinates." The room froze. Every race in the council knew those coordinates. Forbidden space. A region so unstable that even the oldest empires avoided it. Stars collapsed there without warning. Physics bent and broke its own rules. Entire fleets had vanished inside it, never to return. No one entered forbidden space. Not to explore. Not to test. Not even to observe. Yet the screen changed. And there it was. A human warship. The same prototype they had just laughed at. Inside forbidden space. "That must be a mistake," one alien whispered. Humans would not be that foolish. Sensors struggled to lock on. Energy readings flickered. The ship should have been destroyed within seconds. But it wasn't. The vessel moved forward, slowly and calmly. As if the chaos around it did not exist. As if forbidden space was nothing more than empty air. Confusion replaced laughter. Silence replaced mockery. "How is it still intact?" a scientist demanded. "Our ships cannot survive there for even a moment." No one had an answer. The prototype ship did not look powerful. It did not glow with advanced shields. It did not fire weapons or activate visible defenses. It simply continued. Deeper into the forbidden zone. Then came the next shock. The ship changed course. Making a turn that should have torn it apart. Space twisted around it, then settled. Several alien leaders stood from their seats. Fear crept into their voices. "That movement breaks known physics," one said. "That is not possible." The AI spoke again, colder this time. "Warning, local space instability decreasing." Forbidden space was becoming calm. Because of a human prototype. At that moment, a single message appeared on every screen. Sent from the human ship. Short and simple. "This is a test run." The Galactic Council did not laugh anymore. They watched in growing fear as the ship moved deeper. Still untouched. Still alive. For the first time, the galaxy asked a question it had never considered before. What if this was only the beginning? And what if humanity had never been weak at all? The Galactic Council did not end the session. No one moved. No one spoke. All eyes stayed fixed on the human ship drifting inside forbidden space. The same ship they had mocked only moments before. "This cannot be their real strength," one elder finally said. "Humans do not have this level of control." Many agreed. The galaxy had studied humanity for years. Their history was public. Their wars were messy. Their technology was borrowed, adapted, never original. At least, that was what everyone believed. A council historian brought up old records. Images of early human ships appeared. Clumsy engines, weak armor, limited range. They struggled just to leave their own system, the historian said. They begged for trade, copied alien drives, and learned by failure. The council nodded. This was the humanity they knew. A young race that survived not because it was strong, but because the galaxy ignored it. Then explain this, an alien commander said sharply, pointing at the live feed. The human prototype continued its slow movement. Waves of distorted space rolled around it, then faded. The ship did not fight the chaos. It adjusted to it. That detail unsettled many. Most advanced races forced space to obey them. They used power, shields, and brute force. Humans were doing something different. They are not resisting, a scientist observed. They are adapting in real time. Silence followed. The council turned to Earth's representative channel. But it remained closed. No explanation. No warning. They send a prototype into forbidden space, one leader said. And say nothing. That felt wrong. Even for humans. Another record was opened. Human history, wars on Earth. Conflicts where humans face stronger enemies. Enemies with better weapons. Better numbers. Better technology. Yet humans survived. They lost battles, a strategist noted. But they learned fast. They changed tactics mid-war. They turned weakness into advantage. The room grew uneasy. For humans, the strategist continued. Desperation creates innovation. Outside the council, alien fleets adjusted their positions. Not to attack, but to observe. No one wanted to provoke whatever this was. Inside forbidden space, the prototype ship slowed. It reached a region marked as a dead zone. A place where sensors always failed. The feed distorted. Static filled the screen. Several council members relaxed slightly. Now it ends, someone said. But seconds passed. Then minutes. The signal returned. Clearer than before. The human ship was still there. Floating at the center of the dead zone. Untouched. Shock spread across the hall. That area deletes matter, a scientist whispered. Nothing survives there. Yet the prototype did. Energy scans revealed something worse. The ship was collecting data. Mapping the chaos. Learning from it. They are not exploring, the commander said slowly. They are studying this place like a weapon. Fear replaced doubt. If humans could understand forbidden space, they could control it. And if they could control it, no fleet would be safe. At last, Earth's channel opened. Not a diplomat. Not a general. Just a calm human voice. This test is proceeding within expected limits, the voice said. No intervention is required. That was all. The channel closed again. The Galactic Council sat in silence, watching the prototype drift deeper, realizing something too late. The galaxy had judged humanity by its past. But humans had always prepared for the future. And whatever was happening in forbidden space, it was not an accident. It was a message. Humanity was done being ignored. The deeper the human prototype moved, the worse the readings became. Inside the Galactic Council Hall, warning lights filled the air. Systems struggled to understand what they were seeing. Forbidden space was not empty. It was broken. Gravity pulled in different directions. Time slowed, then jumped forward without reason. This region had destroyed entire armadas. Not through battle, but through chaos. Alien scientists worked fast, comparing old data with new scans. None of it made sense. The ship should be tearing itself apart, one scientist said. Every known rule says it cannot survive this. Yet the prototype continued. Its path steady. Its speed unchanged. The ship did not force its way forward. It followed invisible lines. Paths no one had ever seen before. How is it choosing that route? A commander asked. No map exists for this place. A senior analyst answered quietly. Because humans do not use maps here. They are creating them. That thought spread fear across the council. As the ship moved deeper, strange signals appeared. Energy patterns formed, then vanished. The prototype adjusted its angle each time. Small changes, perfect timing. This is not automation, a technician said. There is active decision-making happening. That meant something important. Either a powerful AI controlled the ship, or humans trusted their crew inside this chaos. Both options were terrifying. Inside the prototype, human crew members stayed calm. No panic. No rushed movement. They had trained for this. The ship's hull absorbed stress. Not with brute armor, but flexible materials that shifted shape, turning pressure into balance. Alien engineers stared in disbelief. They built the ship to fail safely, one whispered. When space breaks, the ship bends instead of breaking. No race had ever designed like that. Suddenly, the ship stopped. Right in the heart of forbidden space. Council members held their breath. Energy levels spiked. Space around the vessel twisted sharply. Then froze. This is where fleets vanish, an elder said. They will not survive this. But instead of collapsing, the space around the ship stabilized. A calm zone formed. Small at first, then growing. Forbidden space was being pushed back. The prototype activated a new system. No weapon fire. No shields. Just a deep vibration. Felt across sensors. Across fleets. Across minds. That frequency, a scientist said in shock. It matches the natural chaos of this region. The human ship was not fighting the space. It was speaking to it. Data streams flooded the council systems. Human encryption, layered and complex. They are broadcasting knowledge, a commander said. Not threats. Then the message came. Simple and direct. Phase 1 complete. Nothing else? Alien fleet shifted nervously. Weapons powered up. Then powered down again. No one wanted to be the first to challenge this. The calm zone continued to expand. Sensors worked better inside it. Visibility improved. Forbidden space was no longer forbidden. The council realized the truth at the same moment. This prototype was not built to fight enemies. It was built to change the battlefield itself. If humans could do this with one ship, what could they do with many? Fear settled deep in the galaxy. Because now, humanity was not just surviving space. It was rewriting it. The calm zone inside forbidden space continued to grow. What was once chaos now showed order. The impossible was becoming stable. Inside the Galactic Council Hall, panic spread quietly. No one shouted. No one laughed. They only watched. The human prototype remained at the center of the calm zone. Small, silent, and steady. Like the eye of a storm that refused to exist. This goes against every law we know, an elder said. If space can be changed like this, then nothing is safe. Alien fleets at the edge of forbidden space began to retreat. Not because they were attacked, but because fear had replaced confidence. For centuries, the galaxy believed space itself was the final defense. Unbreakable. Uncontrollable. Humans had just proven that belief wrong. New scans arrived. The prototype was no longer just surviving. It was shaping the region around it. Gravity stabilized. Time distortion slowed. Energy storms faded. Forbidden space was collapsing into something usable. They are turning a dead zone into territory, a commander said. Whoever controls this space controls movement across half the galaxy. That realization hit hard. Trade routes. Military lanes. Hidden borders. All could be rewritten. The Council demanded Earth explain itself. This time, the human channel opened immediately. A single human officer appeared. Calm expression. No sign of pride. No threat in their voice. This vessel is a prototype, the officer said. It is not armed for combat. Murmurs filled the hall. If this is unarmed, one alien shouted. Then what do you call this? The officer did not react. This ship tests environmental control. Combat vessels follow different design goals. Silence returned, heavier than before. The officer continued. Humanity does not seek war. But we prepare for uncertainty. At that moment, the prototype executed a maneuver. A sharp shift through folded space. Then it reappeared several thousand kilometers away. Instantly. Sensors screamed. Tracking systems failed. That jump ignored distance, a scientist said in horror. There was no transition. The human officer nodded once. Localized space alignment. Simple words. Terrifying meaning. The galaxy understood now. Human ships would not need lanes. Would not need gates. Would not need permission. Borders meant nothing to them. The prototype sent one final transmission. Broadcast to every listening system. This test concludes. Results exceed expectations. Then the calm zone collapsed. Not violently, but gently. Space returned to chaos. As if it had been allowed to exist again. The prototype moved away, leaving forbidden space behind. The Galactic Council remained frozen. They had witnessed a warning. Not spoken in anger, but in demonstration. Humanity had not announced its power. It had shown it. And now the galaxy faced a new truth. Earth was no longer a minor world. Humans were no longer observers. They were architects of space itself. After the human prototype left forbidden space, the galaxy did not return to normal. It became quiet. Alien fleets pulled back to safe distance. Borders were rechecked. Old defenses were activated again. But none of it felt enough. The Galactic Council remained in session for days. Leaders argued. Strategists warned. Scientists replayed the recordings again and again. Every time, the result was the same. Humanity had changed the rules. Forbidden space was marked on star charts once more. But its name was updated. Human influenced zone. No empire claimed it. No fleet dared to enter it. Not because humans guarded it, but because everyone knew they could. Trade guilds began to adjust routes, avoiding regions near human systems. Not out of hatred, but respect mixed with fear. Human ambassadors were suddenly welcomed. Their words carefully chosen. Their requests quickly approved. The same humans once ignored. Now listened to. On Earth, the public never saw the full test. Only fragments. Only hints. Human leaders stayed silent. They did not boast. They did not threaten. They continued building. Deep in human shipyards, new hulls took shape. Not larger, but smarter. Designs improved using data from forbidden space. Every failure recorded. Every success refined. The prototype was never meant to be famous. It was meant to teach. Among alien cultures, stories began to spread. Whispered in trading stations. Shared in military academies. They laughed at a human prototype. And then space itself listened to humans. The phrase became a warning. In the Galactic Council Hall, a final decision was made. Humanity would no longer be treated as a minor race. Earth was offered full council membership. Not as an equal, but as a balance. A force that could not be ignored. One elder spoke the truth no one wanted to say. If we push them, we will not face their fleets. We will face their understanding of space. That fear ended all debate. Far from the council, the prototype ship rested in orbit around Earth. Scars visible on its hull. Systems worn but intact. Engineers studied it closely. Quietly proud. Already planning the next phase. Inside a sealed room, a human commander reviewed the final report. The last line was simple. Environmental control confirmed. The commander closed the file. Looking out at the stars. Humanity had never wanted to rule the galaxy. But it had learned something important. If the universe was hostile, humans would adapt. If space itself became a threat, humans would reshape it. Somewhere in the galaxy, an alien child asked a simple question. Why does no one enter forbidden space anymore? The answer was always the same. Because once, humans went there first. And the galaxy remembered.